What is Rockit's Children's Boutique?
Rockit Children's Boutique is a physical and an online store that sells clothes from age 0 to 12 years that are made of organic materials. They're ethically produced without compromising on fun. So they've got bright colours and bold print. So I think there's a real shift in thinking at the moment in society to thinking a lot more ethically and thinking about where our food, where our clothes, where things we purchase come from. Thinking of the people involved in that process and of the environmental impact on the planet. Sustainability covers fair trade, fair working conditions, safe working conditions and pay. It's around the production process and how the fibres and the chemicals used affect the environment and the workers. It's also around the textile waste as well, so the amount that ends up in landfills. So at Rockit we use organic cotton for the majority of our items. So it'll all be organic, but it's mostly cotton, and have a minimal impact on the environment. Because the items are better quality, better made, they will last longer than items made of different materials. So it goes back to the idea of buy cheap, buy twice. The clothes that we sell here at Rockit can be used as playwear, as best clothes. They will last, they will wear well, they will wash and they will wear extremely well, and they will last years. In terms of like trousers, they're designed so that they can be rolled up, rolled down, so they'll grow with your child. And so you're not spending out every few months money on clothes that is going to end up ultimately in a landfill site. So it's thinking a lot more smartly about the way we shop. But also I think people will be surprised to know that it actually doesn't cost that much more to buy this type of clothing. And so this is what I've tried to do with Rockit, is try and source brands that do fit with that ethical thinking. That's make brightly coloured fun prints. So I think I don't like beige, and I personally think that children should be children, and they should, be forced, because of what the fashion industry is saying at the moment, into sort of mini adults clothes or revealing clothes, or so they're good quality, fun kids clothes that they're not aligned to what is fashionable of the time. In fact, I've come back recently from a trade show where actually there's quite a lot of stands that were very Princess Charlotte. They're very sort of traditional and very frilly. Then I go visit the suppliers that I've got in the shop, and they're like this massive rainbow of colour. So it's great to see that. And they were saying to me how much they thought they stood out in the fairs. We want a bit of colour. We don't want beige. We want it to be nice and stand out and be fun.
I know you mentioned that your clothes are using organic materials and a lot of it is organic cotton. Is there any other way your clothes are ethically sustainable?
In the production process, yes. Before committing to working with suppliers, I want to know sort of the production process, and that there's fair treatment for their workers, fair pay and fair treatment. So I always sort of work with the company to find this out. Some of the smaller brands that we work with, like Lillian Mortimer, the owner and designer actually has a very close working relationship with the people in the factory. She actually lives out in Thailand. She's British, living out in Thailand, and she regularly visits and oversees the production process herself. I'm going to be introducing a new brand in the autumn called Ocean Blue, who are part of the One Gives One programme, where you buy a product and an item gets donated to a child who needs it. They have on their labels, on their products, a little QR code, and if you scan it, you can see pictures of the factory and pictures of who's made your clothes, and there's a little bit about sort of the factory and what the conditions are like there. That was brilliant. Really, really impressed by that, and I think that's where we need to be heading. People shouldn't be suffering because we want a t-shirt that looks good for the moment. Yeah.
You're saying for your shop is a slice of Brighton with a sprinkle of Stockholm. For people who don't know, what does that mean?
Well, it's drawing from my background, really. So just things I love. I went to university in Brighton. I've got a good friend that lives out in Stockholm, so I've been out there regularly. I love like Swedish culture, Swedish design. So that's something I want to bring to Northampton, bring to the UK, in fact. I think the Swedes are a lot more forward-thinking than we.
Yes.
Like they're early adopters. they're much more ahead of the game than we are in terms of sustainability and particularly sustainable fashion. Brighton side of things, I just think they're not afraid to be quirky generally down there. Great, and it's such a sort of liberating sort of feeling when you go down to Brighton. It's like, yeah, I can be who I want to be. It's lovely. So that's kind of what I wanted to reflect in what I stock at Rockit. And I think in Northampton in particular, with the physical store, we've seen so many big retailers close down. We've got very limited choice for children's clothing here. We're almost being driven to the cheap shops, the supermarkets, which, although they have their place, there's not that option really. If you want to go and see clothes in person, feel the quality, check the size against your child, because there's big variations of how clothes fit, and if you're ordering online you don't really know whether it's going to fit until it arrives. People might think I'm crackers opening up a physical shop in a time when lots of others are closing down. But the reason why I did it is because I feel so passionate about it, because I want this. I would shop it. I created what I wanted to see in Northampton, and this is why I had a big career change to do it, because I felt so passionately about it and I wanted to bring something nice, something good quality and something fun to Northampton.
How is being based in Northamptonshire beneficial? Because I know you're in St Crispin's retail park.
We've got a lot of families around us, and that's set to grow as well. There's lots of new development going on. We are a little bit tucked away. People don't always know we're here, but we are. We're only a short drive away from Sixfields. We've got parking out the front, so it's really accessible. There's local playgrounds, ladies' clothes shop, restaurants. So there's lots of things to do here. It's quite a destination location, but not too far away. The parking's free, which you don't get with a lot of places these days.
Overall, what would you say the future of fashion is?
Well, being completely honest, I don't see ourselves as particularly aligned to fashion. I see us as Rockit as it's just nice, good quality, fun children's clothes. However, I see clothing industry, including children's clothing, as moving very much towards this sustainable model. I think there's a lot more focus on it, a lot more. The spotlight is on the planet, how we treat the planet, and if you don't shop in a certain way, you're perpetuating a culture of ultimately treating workers and the environment poorly. So it's about voting with your purse and saying, no, I want this to be the way that we produce clothes. The quality of the clothes, because it's made better, the materials are better, there's no harmful chemicals in it. It feels completely different to any other clothing. It's so much nicer. And we've had so many customers come back and say, I've been buying your clothes and I wouldn't go back to any other type of clothes. That the quality is so nice, they wash, they wear so wonderfully. I think it's something you don't go back to. But you buy less of them, so you're probably not spending any more.